August 1st, 1944. Allied Central Command receives a coded message from Warsaw. It reads simply, "We are already fighting." The people of Poland had chosen to rise up after 5 years of Nazi oppression. They were promised Ally support. It never came. Outnumbered and underarmed, the Poles sought to free their city and their nation under banners that read, "Poland fights." After 65 grueling days and the loss of more than 200,000 Polish lives, the city was evacuated and destroyed. Against this violent backdrop, we will tell the story of two sisters forced to make impossible decisions about family, hope, loyalty, and morality. This June, the Confrontational Theater Project is proud to present a world premiere, a new story about a historical event that deserves to be remembered, a play about how women face a war on their doorstep, a script by two female playwrights, Starling.
Starling, like a lot of the theater that engages me, is at least partly about relationships. We have interesting conflicts, but the story is about a relationship between two sisters, a relationship between a soldier and a woman that he is attracted to, and a relationship between an authority figure and everyone that he is in authority over. And the dynamics between just 5 people in one set is an incredible cobweb of motivation and passion and fear, and the script explores all of these dynamics between these people really well, and that's one of the things that excites me as a director.
Seattle is a great city for new works. You have companies like Matcha Monkey and Annex that almost exclusively do new work. Matcha Monkey exclusively does work by women featuring female characters. So to be contributing to that narrative, where we have so many different plays being written by different emerging writers in Seattle, I think is very important.
The show is about 2 estranged sisters who are serendipitously thrown back together in the middle of Nazi-occupied Poland, and their relationship is sort of forced to be rekindled in the middle of this very stressful situation. And in addition to that, it's about this small group of people who are forced to have relationships with each other because of what the war has done to their lives and the way it's caused them to have to survive and interact with each other for their survival.
I mean, people in this country have never had to be in a war as civilians. I mean, the last war that was actually fought on U.S. soil is the Civil War, I think, 150 years ago, unless you count the various Indian wars. And the idea that these ordinary people are suddenly caught up and trapped in this horrible situation and sort of exploring what happens to them in it is fascinating to me.
Well, I feel that it's a story that gives a very fresh perspective, a female perspective of the war, which isn't totally talked about, or at least hasn't been given the attention that it deserves. And second of all, I feel that, there are very strong themes that people can relate to when they come to see it. I mean, we deal with isolation, loss, secrecy, and moral conflict. So it's like, everybody can take something from it.
Well, it's a look at a time in history that we don't know a lot about. We know a lot about the first uprising, but not about the battle for what was left of Warsaw. It's about people under extreme stress and their actions and reactions to the world around them in that situation. And I think just the historical nature of it makes the show important, but it's the characters that I think sell the show.
I think that this show in particular matters and has importance because there's a lot of theater out there. There's a lot of theater companies doing established plays that a lot of people have already seen and that are just widely known. So to me, there should be more of a hunger for original material. And for something that is this dynamic and this strong of a piece with that is so grounded in reality but written with such poetry, I think is important for people to come out and support original work. And so I think this has importance in that respect. And also, I think it's a story that hasn't been told.
Without the support of the theater community in Seattle and the greater artistic community in Seattle, it's very difficult to produce new work, especially on the scale that we're doing for Starling. We've rented the Satori space in Inscape, which is a beautiful building, and I think it evokes the feeling of the cellar where the story takes place. Unfortunately, it costs a lot of money to produce something on that scale. And although we're pretty well funded, we do need that little extra bit to make sure that we're operating with minimal overhead.
We believe in this show and want to present the best version of it possible, but to do so, we need your help, even if all you do is spread the word about our project. We have raised the money to rent the theater, but now we need your help to turn on the lights, build the set, rent the costumes, and pay those involved. A regular adult ticket will cost about $22 with the service fee. If you want to support our show, especially if you plan to see it anyway, please consider contributing at the $25 level to give us a running start and to pre-purchase your ticket. Just 80 $25 pledges will get us to our funding goal.